Rule number one, the best champion to rank up is the champion you enjoy. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's time for the first update to the best 6-star champions to rank 5. Now this is different. This is formatted different. I think it's a different framing than my general tier list. Now, if you're interested in that and a little more information on champions and where they stack and what I think and the Illuminati thinks, the whole thing, you can see the champion rankings playlist linked right there. This whole spreadsheet will be linked in the description of this video. Feel free to check that out. Now, we've got, I thought EOP might have some rank 5 rewards. So I got the first iteration of this video out right before that came out. And we've got the Bubble Bobble, right? Gwenpool's Bubble Bobble 8.2. It seems clear. People are getting their first or second, third, their fourth. Well, you have to be, I don't know. But the first, second, or third, rank 5, 6-star. So I think it's time to update this. And we also now have more information. We know who's going to be in the 7-star crystal. We know kind of how that's going to work, and we know when it's coming. So I think we can make more educated decisions on this. You can see I've got this all broken down between the various tiers, and then of course the legend. And you know what? I'm going to talk about the legend and the tiers when we go through Mystic and the first time we experience them. I've done this intro a few times now, and I've realized it just gets very long when I try to do all of it at the very beginning. So let's go ahead and start off here. In the tier above all, these champions are broken. They just are. Right? In my opinion, and we've often heard this talked about various things, probably makes the game a little harder to design, interactions, defenders, that sort of thing. And the reason why I think this matters is because will we ever see them as a 7-star? And you can see that in the legend there with the broken heart. Like, it feels to me very much like at least Quake, maybe Hyperion or what have you, but more Quake because we just never saw her. Are we ever going to see them as 7 stars? And if so, it will not be for like 3 years, 2 years, something like that, right? Dr. Doom. There you go. Top shelf for Mystic champions. Now these champions are just OP. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I don't feel like they're broken. I can see ways of going about combating them. I don't think they need to be removed from the game or nerfed or anything like that. But they're just so OP. Again, I think there's going to be time before we see them in the 7-star crystal. Rintra, Tiger, Absorbing Man. Now, Rintra and Tiger and Absorbing, they all have that dice emoji. It means that's my own personal thoughts. That's probably where I'm going to go. The first Mystics you see me going to be champions like that. And then we have the target symbol there too, which means the high sig factored in. Tiger, Absorbing Man really want that high sig. So even if they do come as a 7-star relatively soon and you happen to pull them, you're probably still better off with your rank 5, 6-star for a while before your rank 2, 7-star with a low sig. You're probably getting into the rank 3s and things like that. That's going to buy you a lot of time enjoying your maxed out 6-star there. So I feel like those are very, very appropriate ranks. I know some of you who follow my channel closely are like, where's America Chavez, Vega? And you can see her, and we'll get to that when we get there. Now, the next column, super premium, right? The most common question as YouTubers we get asked is, should I rank this champion? And the answer is, heck yeah. Now, the other way you end up here, and we'll see this as we go to, I think it's Mutant and then also Science for sure, is, do they really need the rank though? Do they really need it? And like I said, we'll talk about more when we get into Mutant and then Science. Now, moving into the premium column here is great. They're great champions. Yes, if you want, great, that's awesome, go for it. Also though, some of these champions would have been in other tiers, but they're now in the 7-star crystal. And that's why that little monkey emoji, he's covering his eyes because he's like, you're opening up that crystal and you're like, I just ranked up Wiccan as a 6-star. Please do not pull Wiccan. Now, I understand, and I'm the one who's often saying some champions are so good, you want them both. It takes the sting away. But this early on in the process, we're all human. If you think you're immune to that and you'd be excited to have 2 Wiccans and go for it, I know me, I'm not sure I would, unless the champion I love them, or I feel like they really benefit from that super high sig. Now that's what's happened with America Chavez. She was going to be my first rank 5, 6-star for sure, Mystics anyway. And then now I know she's coming into the 7-star crystal. I want to at least let myself open up my first batch. I think it's coming May 8th. No, April, May, whatever. The month after this month. Yeah, May. What the heck am I talking about? May 8th. I'm going to at least take a shot. If I don't get her, then maybe I'll look at ranking up my my 6-star, because I do have her at Sig 200. She's awesome. She's phenomenal. And then Mojo there, right, with the high Sig. He really benefits from it. And then Juggernaut. Now, we've talked about the columns. We've talked about the legend. We'll go a little more quickly as we go through the rest of the classes. Let's get to Mutant. Onto the mutant class, I really, again, feel like there's just one champion. She's broken, especially if you get her synergized up. That's Kitty Pryde. She can do so many phenomenal things. Now, the fact is, I sometimes like playing my broken champions. Just seeing I had the heart with Doom, but I also had the dice, and I have the same thing there with Kitty Pryde. She's that good. She's that fun. Will we ever see her as a 7-star? Apocalypse, he's not, I don't, again, there's something, I'm still even trying to figure out how to explain it properly. But Apocalypse and Omega Red, while dominant in a variety of scenarios and situations, they don't feel broken to me. There does feel like a difference between them and Kitty Pryde. I think it's the fact that, you know, Kitty, if you like counter her, the obvious counter is like she should be hurt by champions who have an anti-miss. And with her, she punishes them for doing that. I enjoy it. It feels a little cheap. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now, Apocalypse Omega Red, you can see Apocalypse is one that I will consider. Omega Red at that super high 6. So even if he comes as a 7-star, how soon do you really think you're going to get a 7-star at SIG 200? I would bet it's going to be a long, long time. And then, as I said, we got these champions in the super premium tier who have that broken heart emoji. And this is what I'm talking about is in my tier list, you'll see Archangel and Magneto Red in a much different tier, but this is framed differently. Like you're looking to make yourself happy here. And Archangel and Magneto Red, do you really need them at rank 5 right now? I think with 7-star rank 2s potentially coming to the game in just a few weeks, I think your 6-star rank 4 Magneto and Omega Red are going to handle those champions just fine. I think it'll be rare where you find yourself thinking, if only they were rank 5. Over time, you'll see them move up this list because they are that powerful, and I think they will want that extra rank. Right now, I really don't think so. If they're your favorite champion, you love playing them, go for it as always, but keep that in mind. Moving on, Bishop, Domino, same problem. They're in that 7-star crystal. Now, each of them, though, it's unique. Domino, if you've got that 6-star rank 4, SIG 200 like I do, I would consider bringing her up anyways, because what you're really doing is you're hoping to get that crit fail damage as a defender in Battlegrounds. And again, it's going to take you a long time, in my opinion. I feel pretty sure on this. To get a 7-star to SIG 200, it would also mean you're just really dedicating your 6 stones to Domino. I don't know. I think that's a lot to ask. So I think she's still worthy. It's very similar line of reasoning there for Bishop, why he's still on the list. They're that good. Professor X, Havoc, and then Namor. Namor is timeless. I still may one day, I always talk about these videos about, I have plenty of footage to show. Namor is timeless in this game. I don't use him all the time. In fact, it's pretty unique or rare. But when I do, to borrow the phrase of my good friend DLL, he is often the most elegant option for some pretty difficult fights. Moving on to the science class. Now, I don't actually think of Scorpion as being broken, but it does feel like there's a difference between him and Spot and Quicksilver. So I went ahead and moved Scorpion to that tier, but you'll see he doesn't have that heart emoji. If you give him the synergy with Agent Venom or Venom himself, as Campo pointed out, Campo's a smart player. Then he can maybe feel a little bit broken. So I get it. It makes sense. And also, you know, outside of Battlegrounds, all these various modes, Scorpion, I think can feel that way. He's also phenomenal in Battlegrounds and War 2. Just such a great champion, right? So that's why he is there. Now in the OP top shelf there, we've got Spot and Quicksilver. They're very, very different champions, very unique champions, each of them. You know, I love Quicksilver, and it's really been making me happy to see people use him. Karate Mike used them in 8.2 today. And then my boy, MP Blaze, been doing some cool stuff in War with him too. And then Spot, phenomenal in Battlegrounds and those sorts of things. Those are the 3 that I will be considering myself. I think, again, I don't think we're going to see them as 7 stars anytime soon. You guys are getting the point now here too on the column, so I don't need to keep belaboring those points. Moving on to Super Premium, the one I really want to point out there is Captain America Infinity War. Now, longtime channel member of mine, O's fan, has done phenomenal stuff with Captain America Infinity War. He enjoys playing him. He's his workhorse. He really builds his roster around it, and Cap is, I think, the only champion in the game that you can do that with. Maybe Scorpion, but I don't think so. It's really Captain America Infinity War. And so while the game has grown and science has improved tremendously as a class, and I think as a result, a large roster that's developed can start to kind of not make Cap obsolete, but make you not use Cap. Like myself, mine's still at rank 3. I think if you don't want to go that path, Captain America Infinity War is still fantastic. You're going to get a lot done with him. And I highly doubt we're seeing SIG 200 Captain America as 7-star anytime soon. I'm willing to be very wrong on that one. I just don't see him coming to the game and then you being able to wake him and then make him your SIG 200. I think he's very worthy for a 6-star rank 5. That's why he's a little bit higher up in this list. And again, than you would see in my tier list, despite thinking he is a phenomenal champion. Human Torch is the same reasoning as we just gave for Magneto Red and Archangel. Do you really need that extra rank right now? I think probably not. Maybe in a few months. Let's see when we do the 3rd iteration of this list. And then moving into premium, Overseer is someone who's been demoted on this list, despite in many ways becoming and showing more and more value in this game over the last 3 or 4 months. And it's purely by virtue of him being in the 7-star crystal. I think he's actually probably the best champion in the crystal. That's something to talk about when I do a full crystal review video. With him, and if you've seen enough of my videos, you got to go back a while, right? For when I was doing a lot of Overseer videos, you just want that initial awakening and you're getting some really nice utility, extra damage, that sort of thing. And then as the SIG grows, he's just going to get that much more powerful. I think he's a great 7-star option. But keep in mind what you got there with that 6-star rank 5. And then I know some people might be kind of having an eyebrow raised. SIG 200, really quite nice for thing, right? Incursions, defensive use, battlegrounds, that sort of thing. And then he's a good champion, really unique set of immunities. You can synergize him up, which is a lot of fun, but he can also be used offensively. Very, very unique champion. I think it's just other champions have come out that do the same thing as he has, but he's so tanky and has a lot of defensive prowess too. Should not be overlooked. And again, probably a long time before you get him as a 7-star rank as SIG 200. Let's go ahead and move on to tech. Tech class, again, like most of these, really just has one champion that's broken. That's Ghost, the synergies, the whole thing, right? She's phenomenal, she's awesome. You want to take her up? It's going to be a long time, I think, before we see 7-star Ghost. If I'm wrong, I'm very okay being wrong on this. Nimrod, not broken, massive OP-ness though, right? Like the guy is phenomenal. I got him early and I was like, y'all need to get a hold of this guy. And I told you, it's like he is like Human Torch in that he's not just for mutants, right? For Human Torch was like, well, he's great against mystics. And I was like, no, guys, listen. Human Torch ramps up against energy damage. Nimrod destroys healing and prowess, and we were seeing prowess in nodes and things like that. And look what's happened. It's throughout the game. You see it. He's phenomenal. He's great. He's not going away anytime soon. Having him SIG 200 is extremely nice. He probably could actually have that high SIG emoji as well. But he's phenomenal. He's great. He will be, I'll tell you my plan right now is I'm going to try to hold out until I get Viv Vision before I take a 6-star tech up. If I get Viv Vision and I enjoy playing her, I'm not sure I will, but I see the power. If I enjoy playing her, she'll go up first just because she's new. I've had Nimrod at a high rank for so long, right? But he's phenomenal. He's great. I think you'd have a lot of fun with him. He'd be very powerful. And I don't see anyone regretting taking him to rank 5. Moving on to the super premium tier. Heck yeah, do they need the rank? Infamous Iron Man. I'm like on the fence. He's better than I thought he was. I got that video out saying like, is he better than was I wrong? I think, yeah, I was. He's better. He's not just for bishops. But I don't know if I think he's as good as I think a lot of other really smart players in this community think. They're really smart, so they might know something I don't. Guardian, you got him that super high SIG, right? All that energy resistance. Again, you've heard me say this, 7-star, probably a long time before you have a SIG 200. Mega Sentinel, phenomenal champion. Remember though, she's not a prestige champion anymore. I mean, her prestige is good, but that top 5, there's a large chasm gap between her and them now. So don't take her up just for prestige. It would be a big mistake. And then Viv Vision, I just talked about her. So moving on to the premium tier, great and or 7 stars. Fortunately, none of them are 7-star crystal. I really like that, even despite thinking I want Shuri and I want War Machine, but that's not the video for that topic. This isn't that. Ultron, you got that high SIG. I think a lot of Ultron players know exactly what I'm talking about, but that high SIG, really, really valuable. Penny Parker, Warlock, and the future Ant-Man. Brendan B. McG keeps talking about how great future Ant-Man is. I see the videos, I watch it. I think I need to play him. I think I need to play him. That he may be the topic of a Was I Wrong video in the next couple of months, right? I get a lot right. Sometimes I get them wrong. And if that's the case with future Ant-Man, I'm okay with it. That being said, too many smart players, B. McG and others are telling me how great they think Ant-Man is. Let's go ahead and put him on that list so people can know. Get the word out. All right, then skill class. Again, only one champion, broken, Fury. It is what it is. So he's phenomenal. You want to take him up? I think it's going to be a long time before we see him. I also think it's going to be a long time before we see Valkyrie or Kingpin. Valkyrie, especially with that high SIG level, we know what she can do, right? 7 stars, probably not for a while, the SIG 200. Kingpin, he's fantastic. He's one where I'm like, I wonder if they knew what they built when they buffed him. I have a feeling they weren't quite aware how powerful he was going to be. I think it's cool that they never did nerf him and left him in. He's definitely someone who I will be potentially taking as my first skill champion, especially since I have mine at SIG 200. Moving on to super premium, heck yeah, or do they need the rank? Now, this is all just going to be a bunch of heck yeahs. Shang-Chi, he was my first rank 4 in the whole game. He's phenomenal, he's great. He can do so many things. So if you enjoy playing him, I think he's extremely, extremely worthy. Baron Zemo, he's new, and I see how powerful he is. He's someone who I will possibly be taking up. He also synergizes quite well with some champions I enjoy playing, like Immortal Abomination and Toad, so I could see that. He's more powerful than I realized he was going to be. Kate Bishop, I actually still have not really played her. I mean, I did some light testing in the CCP server, but as DLL champion, maybe I'm biased, but the guy seems to be knocking it out of the park every single time here. He's got a great track record. And then Bitter Still has put out quite a few videos with Kate Bishop in Battlegrounds, doing my Vega Battlegrounds Championship in the 3 stars. I've been able to see what Kate Bishop can do, and oh wow, it is really good. So if I get like a skill gem or something, if that comes out, I may try to hold on to it, kind of do what I did, or what I said I want to do with the Vision, right? If we get like, let's say there's a gem in the Gwenpool's Bubble Bobble event, and I get tech or skill, I'm probably gonna try to hold on to it until the featured crystal turns over, just because I do think these champions are gonna be pretty exciting. We'll see. That sounds like a great plan, but who knows if I'll have the willpower to actually do it. And Crossbones, you know, he's phenomenal. He's great. You guys have heard me talk about him extensively, and then having him with that super high SIG, I do think opens up a lot of utility, allows you to take some fights, nodes, defenders, and things like that you otherwise wouldn't. And we've talked about 7 stars, SIG 200, right? Blah, 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 blah. We all get it. Moving on to the premium tier, Falcon. Falcon's worthy, but he's now in the 7-star. Crystal, Killmonger, Elsa Bloodstone, all the same thing. Now, I think it's just important for you to keep that in mind. Killmonger, though, the high SIG is really nice, getting that damage up, making him a more valuable defender. So I do think he still makes a lot of sense. He's not someone I would be quite as hesitant on as I might be for a Falcon or an Elsa Bloodstone right now. Now, yeah, that's just it. That makes a lot of sense. I still think very worthy, but be mindful that you may pull them really soon, and that could be a tough situation. Falcon does just want that initial awakening. Everyone afterwards helpful. In my understanding, I think is Elsa does want that escalating SIG. So if you're considering taking her up to rank 5, I think you probably know how to use her pretty well. Let's go and move on to Cosmic. All right, the final class we're going to go over is Cosmic. Again, Hercules, 1 champion in this tier above all. Really, the only one class I didn't think really had one was Science, but Scorpion's close enough with the synergies, as Campo pointed out. So I do agree with that. I think it makes the tier list sheet look a little better too, to be honest. And then we got in the top shelf again, just the massive OP champions there. Hulkling, Gallon, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Hulkling was my first rank 5. I absolutely adore it. Have had literally no regrets. I really did sweat between him and Gallon. And I've not once I did it, I was very surprised I even had so much hesitation as I did. If I if I pulled a Cosmic Gem, I think I'd be picking between Null, Gallon, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Hercules. Maybe Cersei as well. Null in the super premium tier, right? Heck yeah, do they need the rank? Null, I have mine at SIG 200. Campo was recently just talking about how much he's enjoying how powerful that is. If I ran recoil more, I'd probably be more likely to go that direction. But I really don't, but Null's still good without it, and I've done that video. So, you see that. Ghost Rider, getting that extra combat power rate could be really nice, getting his rotations going, right? We've talked about that quite a bit. Hyperion and Corvus. Corvus, I think, is falling off a little bit, but I think if you're considering taking him to rank 5, chances are, to me, that means you're really enjoying war, and you're probably running recoil a lot. So I think that's why he's there. I'm not trying to convince people who don't otherwise play Corvus to take him. I'm more giving you that nudge. If you do really like him, you run recoil a lot, I'm giving you that nudge. Like, yeah, it makes sense, buddy. Go for it. Have some fun. And then we'll move on to the premium tier, great and or 7 stars in game. Fortunately, none of those champions are going to be coming in at 7 stars now. But we've got Angela, King Groot, that high 6 really matters. And then Cersei was the first rank 5 for Bitter Steel. Seems to be really, really having a good time with that, not regretting that decision at all. So there they are. This is the full list. Let me know what you're thinking about doing. First of all, do you think I'm right? You think we're going to be getting some rank 5s here, or at least one, with this Gwenpool Bubble Bobble event? 2, who's your favorite champion? If you have a favorite champion who's not on this list and you're thinking about taking them up, let me know. I'd like to hear that. And if you think there's someone who just objectively deserves to be on here, I would really appreciate it and get this feedback going. That way the third iteration of this list is even better than the second. And always remember, always remember, rule number 1, the best champion to rank up is the champion you enjoy. I've been saying that for like 32 months now. Let's keep that going. Let's keep getting that word out in the community. This is a game. We should all be having a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.